I would recommend stripping off your clothes really sensually, like taking off your, okay, I'm not gonna do it. Hi guys, welcome back to another week here on my channel, Who is IVANNA, where we talk about tips, talks, and tutorials for those who are suffering with hidradenitis suppurativa or other chronic skin conditions. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Last week, I delved into my own personal story and journey with hidradenitis suppurativa. I think it was a great start to the conversation about HS. Because this is what this channel is going to be about. And it's not just for those who suffer with hidradenitis suppurativa, but it's also for individuals who are dealing with chronic skin conditions like psoriasis and eczema. We want to feel good with our bodies and in our skin regardless of what ailments we may deal with. So this week I wanted to talk about having confidence and feeling sexy with HS, because it's difficult. Like, it's hard to feel attractive when you have open wounds, boils, scarring, tunneling, pus, blood coming out of your body constantly with no end in sight. It's difficult to be sexy for yourself, and if you have a partner and that's something that you want to do and that's a goal for you, it's difficult to also reach that goal because of the way that our society is set up. A lot of the times we are fed that we need to have perfect skin, we need to have perfect bodies, we need to not have fat, nothing sagging, everything needs to be buffed up and muscled. And if that's your goal, that's, you know, good, kudos for you. But everybody's goal is not that. So what about the individuals who want to feel good where they are right now? This is for you. This video is for you. What are some of the ways that we can start feeling sexy and confident while we have HS? Now, I'm not making this video because I'm the guru of it. I am learning this process too, and I haven't figured out everything. A lot of what I'm doing is really test, trial, and error, and I'm hoping to offer some of the things that I've done to potentially help you, or to be a foundation for you to build from and grow from, because I think it's important for us to have at least examples of people who have had success. And I think that in our community too, if we talk about it, we can be about it, you know what I mean? And so that's what I'm about as well. I want you to talk about it, be about it, live it, love it, learn it, all of that. The first thing that I have done to feel confident with my HS is what's called mirror work. Mirror work is essentially when you look yourself in the mirror. You can look in your bathroom mirror, or you can get a full-length mirror. I would suggest a full-length mirror because you can see your full body, and you can kind of like move it to adjust it and look at the different crevices in your body. You can open your legs, you can bend over, you can, you know, lift your arms and stuff like that. And you can just really examine your full body. And looking in the mirror, getting comfortable with what you see, getting comfortable with what your body is currently, and sitting at that, looking at it, not saying anything particular, but just gazing, just looking at the different sections and bringing your attention to whether, you know, what looks beautiful, what do you wish would change, what, you know, how is your body right now? And so mirror work is essentially looking at yourself in the mirror to get comfortable with where you are. It can be a lot. Don't get me wrong, like, because I feel like as an HS patient, I spend a lot of my time not wanting to be present in my body, because being present in my body means that I have to realize the fact that I have HS. It makes me feel like, okay, I have to be conscious about something that I already know subconsciously I'm conscious about all the time. It's a lot of constants, you know? And so with that, I think mirror work, whether it's you spend 30 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes, an hour, whatever floats your boat, whatever you're comfortable with at the moment, is what I would recommend that you engage with. So I don't do mirror work all the time. I'm not gonna sit up here and say that I do it every Sunday at 12 o'clock p.m. because I don't. I know. But when I do it, I feel good. I feel like I'm working through a lot of that trauma that I've experienced as an HS patient, because this condition can be very lonely and we don't have a lot of resources besides the experiences of other people. And that's why I'm creating this channel to help us to feel good about ourselves and to find ways to manage this condition, not only medically and not only physically, but mentally and spiritually and emotionally, because all of those things work together, you know, for our healing. So mirror work is one of the things that we can do to feel sexy and we can feel good. I think that putting on some music while doing it, I listen to binaural beats. Binaural beats are high frequency beats. Different frequencies are targeted to helping different chakras in your body. If you don't know the 7 chakras, take some time to educate yourself on the 7 chakras. We have the crown, we have sacral, we have, I need to educate myself too. Boop, at least I know there's 7. Even if I don't know all the names just right now. We have the throat chakra, we have the heart chakra, things like that. So, root chakra, there we go. It's coming back to me. It's coming back. Come back to me. These binaural beats are set on certain frequencies to target specific chakras and energies within our bodies or within our space, to either cleanse it or to help elevate it or to get rid of it. And so I think that binaural beats, I put in usually binaural beats for self-love, and there are things that come up and those beats feel good. And not all binaural beats are like amazing. I have had to do some process of sifting through different binaural beats and finding the ones that I like. Just like with anything, it's just a process, it's a learning process. And so when you find the ones that you like, put that on, grab your mirror or go into your mirror and light a candle, like sage, if you believe in that. If you don't, then you don't need to sage. Do what's comfortable for you. That's what all of this is about. I sage because I like to cleanse my energy and my space, and it's an indigenous practice that I identify with. And so I engage in that practice. If you identify with it and engage in it too, then feel free. If not, then you can just skip over that part and you can just go into taking off your clothes, stripping off your clothes. I would recommend stripping off your clothes really sensually, like taking off your, okay, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna strip on camera. Maybe one day. OnlyFans, no. She might start an OnlyFans. Hey. Anyway, strip down slowly and take your clothes off and look at yourself while you're taking your clothes off. Notice what comes up. I might get some feeling in my sacral or my heart chakra, and it'll feel weird. It'll feel like there's like this sharp pain in your heart. Feel that. Try to understand where that's coming from and work through it. Continue peeling off your clothes. Get naked. Get bucky naked. Get naked, okay? Get naked and really just start looking at yourself. So you don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. Just start looking at yourself. Now with HS, we have boils in our cysts and scars and tunneling in our chest. So what I do, I don't have any boils and things like that on my chest anymore. It went away naturally after I did a bunch of natural stuff. And then I don't have it in my armpits anymore or on my stomach or on my thigh because I got surgery. So those spaces don't have it, but the scar is still there. You know, even if we have HS removed, the mental scar is still there and the physical scar is still there, in the sense of like, you know, you had surgery. Like surgery is, you're gonna have discoloration, you're gonna have, you know, pigmentation issues. And sometimes you might have raised skin, or it just looks abnormal. Like, you know what I mean? Abnormal in the sense, if that's not negative. Essentially, when you do the mirror work, you want to look at yourself, and you know, you can set a timer if you want to for 5 minutes. Say you want to look at yourself for 5 minutes. Turn around, spread your butt cheeks, open your legs, you know, make sure you're by yourself, unless you want to do it with your partner. Like, you can do it with your partner too. I don't have any advice on that because I don't have a partner. So I don't really know how to advise you through that. But when I get a partner, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll show you guys how to do it together. Partner, where you at? Okay, call me. I've had a good day and the sun is shining, so my energy is on 10. I would recommend doing it by yourself, just so that whatever emotions you have going through, you can like really process them without feeling ashamed about it. Like, you know, when we tend to be with other people, we tend to censor ourselves. If you're alone, you don't feel like you needed that. So you can spread your butt cheeks, and you can look at your labia, and you can look at your butt crack, and you can look at your butthole and all that other stuff, and really get used to seeing yourself with the HS in those areas. Because I think that's important to know where it is and to know how it's affecting you. Be present. What's coming up for you? When you see what comes up, I like to talk to myself, and not have conversations with myself. Those are different things. I talk to myself and I tell myself, whether it's affirmations or I just think about what comes up. So like, for an example, if I look at my armpits and I feel like a pit in my stomach, or I feel like a sting in my heart, I talk myself through it. I'm just like, I say out loud, why am I going through this? Why do I feel like this? And so from there, I start to pinpoint things in my life that make me feel that way. So I'm just like, oh, I feel that my body is unattractive because society has taught me that I need to be perfect. Why have I adopted that as my own ideology? Because I feel like I haven't learned other ways to define attractiveness. You know what I mean? Things like that help you to understand where you are and why you feel the way that you feel. Talk to yourself sometimes. Because self be knowing, you got all the answers. We have all the answers we need. It's just about being present enough to sit with that energy and to sift through it. After you kind of talk to yourself through it and you get those emotions, I would say in the practice with affirmations, I would recommend writing down what comes up for you. And then after that, write some affirmations to those specific things that come up. So if you feel insecure, write an affirmation that says, I am beautiful. Period. I am attractive. Period. I am sexy. Period. And you can add more. Affirmations are shaped and formed any way that you want them to. They can be more poetic, they can be more simple, they can be really whatever you want them to be. So with that being said, after you're done with the affirmation, you know, dress yourself, re-cleanse the room if you want to do that, light some incense, take a shower, put on your favorite lingerie or your favorite PJs, your pajamas. And this kind of goes into our next number 2 on how to feel sexy while having hidradenitis suppurativa, because we can feel sexy too. It don't matter if we have open wounds. Baby, I am still bad, okay? Do you see this?
Do you see this?
Still 10 on the board.
On the chart. Off the chart.
You gotta know, and it's not gonna always be like that. I don't always feel like that. This morning, I was not feeling like this. So I'm just reveling in this industry that I'm giving y'all because I need it too. So that goes into number 2. Number 2 is buy some sexy lingerie. Buy some sexy lingerie. Hey. So you can make yourself feel okay. Hey, fancy. I bought some lingerie for the first time from Savage Fenty. Shouts out to Rihanna, because her brand, I've gotten bras and panties from businesses before, and especially sexy like clothing and stuff like that. And when she says she makes clothing for every body type, let me tell you, baby girl, the side fat that I have is all sucked up in that bra. I'm just like, it's not spilling up. Rihanna, I love you. I hope we meet one day. I'm gonna keep saying it, cause like, girl, like you the best, okay? No Drake. I think that you should buy some lingerie, or if you're not comfortable wearing lingerie, because a lot of us still have active areas in the groin area and you might not feel comfortable with that, get boy shorts. If not boy shorts, get pants, some PJs, get something. It doesn't have to be expensive. Like Savage Fenty is a little bit on the it's relatively expensive. But for example, there's this website called Shein, SHEIN, that I like. They're one of those factory like shops, sort of like Forever 21. So they probably use like labor from indigenous people from across the world to like source their material, which is ethically like iffy. So if you're against that, don't use them. I haven't bought anything from them yet, but I do like their clothes. We working through that energy.
We working through that, you know.
Because your girl ain't got many coins yet. So we we gotta ball on a budget, okay? So if you're balling on a budget like me, then look at some of the shops where you can get some like clothes. There's Black-owned businesses. There's not only Black-owned businesses, but there's other businesses from people of color where you can get lingerie and things like that. I just say Savage Fenty because Rihanna is the shit, and I just bought some Savage Fenty from her. I got the neon collection. It feels so comfortable wearing it, and I'm really grateful that I have it because I feel beautiful, I feel sexy. Wear your underwear, wear your lingerie, for whether it be for yourself or for your partner. Once again, I don't have a partner yet, so can't advise you on that just yet, but when I do, we gonna come back and we gonna give you the peace and the work. Even if you are in a relationship, you can still like take this advice because you can do this by yourself or with your partner. Wear it around the house. Like sit in your lingerie on your bed, grab a bottle of wine, get your ice cream. If you don't drink, grab your sparkling juice, or if you don't drink juice, grab your sparkling water. If you don't like sparkling water, grab your alkaline water and pop some lemon in it and sit on the bed and light a candle and light some incense or something like that, and just like revel in your beauty, revel in your sexiness. Look at yourself, like do your makeup up, or you know, do a clay mask or something like that, and like take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself.
With the resources that you have. If you don't have stuff at home, try to find some natural stuff. You could take honey. You could take turmeric and put some water in turmeric and make a turmeric paste and put that on your face, and that's a clay mask, honey. Don't let nobody tell you that you have to buy some big expensive brand to get what you need from your skin. You don't at all. And there's DIY stuff, and I'm gonna have DIY videos too coming soon to a video near you, okay? So number 3 is wound care. I think wound care is pivotal to feeling sexy, because if you feel like your wounds are secure and that the drainage is not leaking everywhere, then you can feel good. You don't have to worry about anything, right? So get gauze. I am going to be an advocate for HydraWear, even though I don't have to use it because once again, I don't have HS in my armpits anymore. I have a HydraWear AX garment, which I'm gonna give away one of these days to some lucky winner watching my video who really needs it. Wear HydraWear for your armpits so that you feel comfortable, like, you know what I mean, when you're going out, or even if you're wearing it at nighttime. I think you can wear it at nighttime. I think you can wear it at all hours of the day. So wear the HydraWear AX. There aren't any garments for the groin area just yet. I use personally gauze and tape in my buttock area, and I also use gauze in my vaginal area where I do have some boils if they are draining. And so I put gauze and stuff in those areas so that the leakage is caught. And so when you do things like that, you don't have to stress, you don't have to worry, you don't have to be like, oh, ew, I'm leaking everywhere. And sometimes you don't know, like, you know what I mean? Sometimes a boil will be there and you don't have any gauze and it just pops randomly. If that happens, be patient with yourself. Take a moment, breathe, okay? Be present, be grounded, it's okay. I think those are ways to feel sexy. And even if you do have a boil, I know that when I had boils in my armpits, wearing gauze in those areas really helped to decrease the friction. I want to plug also the Mama IU. I use their products. I use their black soap. I use the soft black soap and the regular black soap. I also use their Manuka honey salve. I don't use their deodorant because, once again, I don't have any issues in my armpits. I don't wear deodorant anymore. I don't smell in my armpits, and I don't have any like perspiration really, so I don't use deodorant, and I don't have to. Personal choice. But if you want to use that deodorant too, it's natural. There's no aluminum, there's no chemicals, it's all natural. They have Manuka honey, they have turmeric. The Manuka honey salve is great for wounds. So if you have a boil, put some of that Manuka honey salve from the Mama IU on there. Put a piece of gauze and tape there, and it will help to reduce some of that swelling. It's not gonna necessarily happen overnight, but it might help to alleviate some of that redness over a few days. So make sure you're consistent with that wound care. Wound care, I think, is pivotal to feeling sexy and feeling beautiful so that you can feel protected, that you can go on about your life, because you don't need to worry about HS all the time, right? Sometimes we just wanna be carefree, and we deserve that as HS patients. We deserve to be sexy, and we deserve to be carefree, okay? So that's number 3. Number 4, I would say, is listen to affirmations. And I think that goes back to number one, which is like the mirror work. But, besides the mirror work, speak affirmations to yourself. When you're not doing mirror work, when you're out and, like I said, when you have a boil that bursts and it gets everywhere, instead of saying, oh my God, I fucking hate my body. Why does my body always do that? Cry, feel those emotions. But let's try. Let's try the next time something happens. I understand that my body is going through something right now. I honor my body where it is. I hold space for my body for where it is. And I appreciate my body for letting me know that something is wrong so that I can potentially do something about it. I am doing what I can to take care of myself, and that is good enough, okay? You can use a variation of that, or you can create your own, but I think that'll help you to get grounded and to not beat yourself up, because the last thing you want to do is beat yourself up about something you cannot control, okay? It's not your fault. You didn't do anything to deserve it. We ask these questions, what did I do to deserve this particular thing to happen to me? It's not about what you did. It's just, it happened and we don't know exactly why. But when we find out why, that's when we can empower ourselves with treatment. That's when we can empower ourselves with different options. So I'm not gonna say don't feel bad. I'm gonna say, let's change our relation to the issue. Let's try to change our relation to the issue. So speak affirmations, have a book of affirmations that you can pull out, or just have some that are in the back of your mind that you can say throughout the day when you feel less than. Sometimes I look at women online and they have perfect skin and I'm just like, oh damn, I wish I had that. And instead of saying that to myself, I say, I'm beautiful the way that I am. Look at this skin, look at this facial skin, look at this. Like, we are not our bodies. We are not our bodies. And we as women, as men even, we think that everything, our worth rides on our body and our sexual organs, and they don't. And I'm speaking to myself because I have to learn this too. I have issues with this as well. I think that my value is based off of what I can or cannot give a man or a woman, and that's not true. Your body is yours alone, and it doesn't need to look like anyone else's. It doesn't need to look like anyone else's. So with that being said, affirmations help you to get used to and comfortable with where your body is at the moment in time. Those things can help you to redirect your energy instead of going into this negative space, you can go into this positive space. Or if you go into that negative space, you have a positive space waiting for you where you can uplift yourself afterwards. Because I think that it's good to purge our emotions, go through your emotions, scream, cry, get upset. I think where it gets detrimental is when we get stuck there. When we get stuck in this thing and we ruminate over it for 5 weeks, for 6 weeks, for years, when it really starts to harm our progress, whether it be in our social lives or our intimate lives, our relationships, our careers, things like that. And, you have to do what you can, with what you have. That's why I think it's important to get a therapist, which I think is number 5. Getting a sex therapist or getting a therapist on your side so that you can talk to them is also a way to feel sexy. Talking to a sex therapist, you can work with them because they understand the body, and although they might not understand your condition, you can slightly educate them. I would recommend reaching out to Dr. Erin Martinez, who is a sex therapist and who understands the different facets of sexuality all throughout the spectrum, and also different levels of intimacy, which I feel like is a different video, talking about different levels of intimacy for people with HS, because I'm learning that intimacy is not only vaginal penetration. Intimacy comes when it's cuddling, kissing, holding each other, being next to each other, reading to each other, cooking for each other. Intimacy goes beyond sexuality in the sense of like having an orgasm or things like that. So I'm starting to learn that. I'm starting to mature in the way that I think about sexuality and intimacy. And so I think that's another video. However, I do believe that getting a sex therapist and being able to talk to a therapist about what you're going through will help you to feel sexier and beautiful, because you'll get that trauma out, you'll get that experience out, and so you're not ruminating over it and you're not allowing that energy to flow around you so that you feel like you're worthless, because you're not. You're worth more than all the money and the rubies in the world, and you need to know that. All the precious jewels, all of that stuff, you're worth more than that. And that's not just because, I'm not saying that just to say that, I mean that. I absolutely mean that. We are so wrapped up in presenting a life of perfection that we forget that before we had social media and stardom and celebrity and all that other stuff, people were who they were. And of course we had social issues and we had constructs. However, we definitely did also have people who were able to love themselves through all of that society BS. And I think that you can empower yourself to do the same thing. You are not a victim. You're not a victim of anything. You are an individual who is living that happens to have something happen to you. And you can do some things to help to manage your HS in your condition. However, there are certain things that are just out of your control until you can get the resources that you need to fix it, whether it means aligning with a dietitian, aligning with a dermatologist, things like that. So I am basically saying these different 5 steps. And I want you to take these and I want you to try to incorporate them into your life the best way that you can. Let me know how you implemented these different steps in your life. Let me know if you found one that you have that I don't know about, because it's just 5 steps. There's so many other ones that we haven't discovered and we haven't talked about. Let me know what you're doing to feel sexy, because sexy is synonymous with your body, even if you do have HS, okay? Know that beauty is synonymous with your body, and you don't have to be perfect to be beautiful. Beauty is relative. Everybody doesn't find everything beautiful, but everybody doesn't have to find everything beautiful. That's not their job, and it's not their job to affirm you. It's your job to affirm yourself. So work on that the best way that you can and try to implement those things into your life and see how they do. So next week, I think I'm going to talk about, actually somebody asked me to do a review of the Mama IU products that I talked about in my first video, which was the unboxing. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna talk about me using the Manuka Honey Salve, the black soap, and the soft black soap. And we're gonna kind of talk about some of the benefits that I've gotten from using these products, because they have been amazing and they are so much better than the chemical filled products like Dove and Dial and things like that. However, that's what the next video is gonna be. It's gonna be a follow-up to that unboxing video. The next video is going to be about how the Mama IU products have helped me to manage my HS. I would really recommend getting the Daily Essentials set, and I'm gonna tell you why in the next video. So tune in next week at 1 p.m. on Sunday, okay? Every Sunday at 1 p.m. we're gonna have a video that's ready for you on our channel. It's gonna be premiering, okay? I figured out that little premiere feature, so I'm gonna use that and stuff, you know? So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in for another video, and thank you for sharing this space with me, in this space where we talk about tips, talks, and tutorials for individuals who suffer from chronic illness, and especially for patients with hidradenitis suppurativa. I love you. I thank you for holding this space, and I will see you next week, honey. Okay. I will see you next week. Make sure that you know that you are sexy, and if you want to, you can send me some pictures of you in your lingerie. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna affirm you. So if you wanna send me some pictures, do that. Also, let me know how you've implemented those steps, okay? Because I want to know that this is working for you, because it's really helping me in my life. So I love you. Mwah, 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 mwah. Love you, and I'll see you next week. All right, bye.